Hi, humans of Earth. It's your girl Narice, and I'm back this time with my guitar. Um, Mainly because I was like practicing and I was doing like variations and runs and whatnot. And I was like, I should be recording this. Because I will say the thing about live streaming is that it's convenient to go back to. Like if I do something creative and I'm like, go back to that melody or how I did that run just like off the cuff. So yeah, that's kind of what this is. And very casual, very informal. I know I have not been doing musical stuff as of late, and I wanted to get back to it. Um, and I have a plan in mind for that, but this is just, the Truman Show producers working their magic and getting me to be creative on this day. But okay, I'm here for it. So yeah, I've just been practicing two original songs. One I've been playing for forever and haven't released, and the other is on my EP that's also released, not released. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. So we'll get that together eventually. But I'm assuming y'all can hear because I don't have this plugged up to amp, and nor will I feel like doing that. And I'm intentionally not plugging up to an amp. Stuck with this present sentence you blessed me in. Now you say I'm free. How could I be? In my words of privacy, pray purgatory, where I'm constantly afraid to be me. Since the exoneration, I just want a vacation. Don't want no confrontations, don't want no conversations. Otherwise, 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 I'll be free to fly. I choose to be wise and willing to escape upside down dimensions, no reason. Hopefully it'll see me other than strange like a suffering. Oh, to my own story. Otherwise, 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 I'll be free to fly. That's a song called Otherwise. And for those who don't know, I've told this story several times. But for those who don't know, that song was inspired by Netflix's deal with the Truman Show producers. Um, but actually, for me, in my reality, it was inspired by the Exonerated Five, also known as the Central Park Five, um, which is why I speak to that several times in regards to Trump being president. Um, but I was inspired by their story when I mean, I had heard about it, and I've seen posts about it on social media, but it was when Ava DuVernay directed a limited series on Netflix, called When They See Us. And it came out a few years ago, and I was just really like captivated by that story. One, because Ava DuVernay is one of my favorite directors, and I love the way she visually directed it, but the storytelling was beautiful too. And I just felt so drawn to that story. And for those who don't know, it was about these five young boys who were hanging out in Central Park way back when. I think it was like the like 80s or 90s. And a woman was sexually assaulted in the park, and there were a lot of people in the park that night. I mean, it's New York. And the cops happened to get a hold of them and convicted them or charged them for the crime. And they were like in middle school at this point, and they were innocent, but they were interrogated for hours at a time, and they didn't have any guardians or guidance. And one of the details that I forgot about that story is that one of the kids' parents told them to just plead guilty, because it was one of those situations where it's like you could go to trial, or if you plead guilty, they'll just give you this up front and let you go home. And in them doing that, and on top of them being mercilessly interrogated by the police, they were influenced into saying that they were guilty, even though they knew that they weren't. And it wasn't until years later, after being in prison, that they one of them in prison actually stumbled upon the person who actually committed the crime, and and that exonerated them. And in the second verse, where I say, I choose to be wise and willing to escape upside down dimensions. The original lyric is explore, but I figured I'd change it to escape. Um, but it goes, I choose to be wise and willing to escape upside down dimensions no one believes in, which is a Stranger Things reference. Hopefully, they'll see me other than strange, like Ava saw Corey, although able to tell my own story, you know? And basically, what I meant by that, because Corey Wise, which is why I call the song Otherwise, Will the Wise from Stranger Things, but then also Corey Wise. Um, and then also, so like the title was kind of like a triple entendre. But Corey Wise was the oldest, and I think the others had to be in like a juvenile prison, and he was would eventually had to be with the adults, and his experience was a little bit more traumatizing and jarring for him, and it had like effects on his mental health, I would assume. um just because like he took to the experience a lot differently than other people, and in hearing the story, and then also like watching interviews of the actual exonerated five speak to those situations. um I just always felt for Corey, and and I feel like without knowing having any context of their experience and their situation, you would just think like, oh, maybe like something's wrong with him or whatever. And that's why I say, um, hopefully they'll see me other than strange, like Ava saw Corey, and I just appreciated how she cared to take care of his story. And I felt like she was intentionally like she was honest, but also like delicate when it came to covering his story um in that limited series. So that's why um that lyric is like that. But then I say, you know, hopefully they'll see me other than strange, like Ava saw Corey, although able to tell my own story. And for me, it's like, you know, there's so many things, there's so many experiences that I had years where I felt like my voice was silenced on many occasions, even to this day. And having to constantly fight for my voice, singing, whether it be sharing my story, telling my truth, expressing my frustrations, expressing my emotions, venting, um, just using my voice and having the freedom to do so. And without feeling like I have to mince my words. Although I feel like other people, in regards to my life, didn't care to have that type of grace or um, consideration for me when it came to mincing words, telling my story. Um, so, and it speaks to not only telling my story, using my voice, but then also like because I enjoy film and I enjoy creating visual art as well. Um, and like I said about like Ava DuVernay being one of my favorite actors, um, she didn't have film experience prior to being a director. It's not like she went to film school and studied. She just picked up a camera and said, "All right, look, we're just going to make this work one way or another." And I appreciate her creativity and her vision visually and how she put together a story. And I think what really put her on my radar was the 13th Amendment documentary that she did, 13, which is also on Netflix. And it basically explains the loophole of the 13th Amendment after the um abolishment of slavery, the Emancipation um Proclamation. And basically the loophole was that they were abolishing slavery, but it triggered this loophole to continue free labor of Black folks through the prison system. So it's like, okay, well, we can't, it's not legal to enslave people, but if we get them for crimes, if we, um, you know, basically set them up to be criminals, then we can get free labor that way because it's like, oh, these people are criminals. And so for them to serve their time and pay their debts to society, we'll have them do free labor. And that was really the project that like made me a fan of Ava DuVernay. And just because it was beautifully shot and edited, and how she broke down the history, like it's a really good documentary. Really good documentary. And if you haven't watched it, I suggest you do. And if you've already seen it, I suggest watch it again. But I say all this to say, um, I appreciate her as a visual artist, and as someone that is a visual artist, I wish I had more time to spend on being a visual artist. But I have things that um, temporarily interfere with that, just because life be different, and sometimes you need to focus on life before you can, really get to do the things that you want to do. But I hope to be in a space where I can tell my own story, and in a way where it's visually artistic, and it doesn't have to be just look at this is what I'm going through, but to really have the time and energy to put it together intentionally, creatively, with an aesthetic. And that's why I really appreciate her as a director, and I hope to get to that space in my own creative career where I can visually craft things together in a way where I can tell my story, but in a way where it's visually artistic. And that's what I mean by that line. Although able to tell my own story, especially as a Black woman, because there's many instances and circumstances, especially in America, where people try to not only tell you your story, but tell you how to tell your story. But you think that your story isn't worth being told, or we've heard that story a million times, nobody cares. And regardless of all those naysayers or distractions, we have that right. And it doesn't just have to be through one medium, it doesn't have to be through one outlet, it could be through several different things. Like me speaking and telling you this now, me breaking down the lyrics, me singing it in the song, or visually showing it through film, or through poetry, or through paintings. However, however that looks as art, um, that fight and stance matters to me, just from my own experience. And that's what this song means to me, and what the lyrics are, specifically in the second verse. Um, and then also, like I said, it's that reference of Stranger Things. Um, Will for season one, specifically season one, when Will got like lost and trapped in the upside down world, and everybody was on a hunt for him. And shout out to Wyona Ryder, playing his mom, and how relentless she was. Um, you know, she just knew something wasn't right with that situation, and she was like, "I know my son is alive, and I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm going to fight for my son." And I respect that. I respect that because some people, I mean, mad people told her to just like hang it up flat screen. Um, but she was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm fighting for my children, my child." Um, and yeah, as a mother, I can understand that. Yeah, I don't have any children, so I can't really. Um, unless you want to count my music as children. Um, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation for another time. But yeah, that's otherwise. And the Truman Show producers are telling me to wrap it up and get to the next song, which I was going to. So I mean, I really wasn't gonna be on here like super long, doing like a whole performance, but I guess that's kind of low key what this is. Not really. I wasn't gonna do a lot of songs at all. I was just gonna do like two. So okay, I'm just kind of like testing words here. Um, Mind you, I'm like sitting on like the edge of my bed in like the most awkward way, but we do the best that we can with what we can. So this is alumni from my like released not released EP, my hidden EP, wherever it is. You traveling out of town. But did you forget where we made this ground? Yeah, it always made me down to the ground. But still, the rich kept the sun. Oh, you play the game, try to take me out. Down about it. Supposed to be on the same team, maybe if we get to free, we could have been everything. True to take your reason, family and special everything. Now just breathe, let free, and I live love. I want to do that again because yeah. You may try to run out of time, but did you forget where it's down me? It was way down to the ground. I still think you got the longest sound in. Oh, you played again, trying to take out. What's that about it? It's supposed to be on the same team. Even if we can't agree, we gotta bet everything. You can take your reason, your family, and spouse and children with everything. Yeah, I'm just feeling. Um, that's a fave. I like that record. Oh, you don't like that record? I'll get back to that record. That's some shit. I don't know what he's saying. I'm just being goofy, y'all. Don't take me too literally. Um, yeah. You know what's funny? I have been playing this in a different key versus the one that I recorded in, which is kind of funny. Because when I was listening to the record and playing, I was like, hold on, something is not adding up here. Math ain't mathing. The music ain't musicking. I mean, it was still like, it was the right notes technically, but it was just a different pitch. And I realized like how I normally would practice on guitar was different than how I recorded it. Mind you, I recorded that record 2019. So it's been some years now. Um yeah, it's been some time. It's been some time though. Yeah, 2019. Um, before the 20 decade. My goodness, what a time. Um, I love that record. Um, it's definitely one of my faves. And it's like it's such a mellow, like sad girl guitar song. But I don't know, it's something about it, like I've said this before on here. It gives me like 90s alternative rock vibes, but not exactly. Like not like I don't know, like maybe like I feel like it could play on the radio like with like I don't know, I just feel like it's like one of those like 90s. It gives me like 90s guitar, like soft rock vibes, like maybe like a ballad Nirvana, Pearl Jam, um, what was that band's name? The name of that fucking band that has that song, Black Hole Sun. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be upset at myself for forgetting the name of that band. Black Hole Sun. Black Hole Sun. Because the thing is, with that song, because the melody is so fucking cool and it's like a really pretty melody, I feel like it's one of those songs where you can do different renditions in different genres and it would be a vibe. And I don't know, it's got like this kind of like soulful element to it in a way. I love songs like that, where it's like traditionally it would probably classify as a rock song, but just like melodically or technically, musically, how it's structured, it would be like it could bend genres. I love records like that. I'm trying to think of another example, but that's one of them. And I feel like Nirvana has that thing too. Um, where I mean they are like a grunge rock band, but I feel like songs like because just like the melodies that they had were so good, like Kurt Cobain's vocals and just his melodic the melodies that he was sing as well as like the guitar, like the musicality, the bass lines. Like if you were to play it in a different like groove, like a different genre, it would be a vibe. Um yeah, I'm trying to think like maybe Heart Shaped Box. I love that song a lot. And I've said that on here before too. She has me like a Pisces when I am weak. It was 4 weeks. And then his harmonies too. Like maybe a little off there, but I forget the words. But hey, wait, I got a new complaint forever. What's this? Forgive me, y'all. Nirvana fans, don't come for me. Okay. Technically, I didn't grow up in that era, but y'all knew what I meant. Um, but yeah, like all the songs. Like I know, like everybody's go to is like "Smells Like Teen Spirit," but "Come as You Are," "Lithium," just like really good melodies. I feel like I'm on a musical tangent here. Um, but what was my point in saying that? I feel like otherwise, and alumni too. I feel like alumni, like I don't know what genre those songs are. Like I mean, it's easy to just classify my sound as like alternative R&B, depending on what song we're playing. Like if it's like if we're doing guitar, or if I'm doing like a production type of a vibe. Or both. Or both. Um, yeah, I feel like the genres, who knows what they are. Um, it's a vibe. But I kind of like being in that obscure place musically where it's like I don't know what genre this is. I feel like it's easiest to classify it as R&B just because of my tone and how I sing. But Natalie, but you know what? Speaking of that, that makes me think of Willow. I think she's really dope like in terms of how she uses her voice, and she inspires me to want to like experiment out the box a little bit more. Just because like she, how she plays with her voice and uses it, and just how she's evolved as a vocalist is has been really dope to see. But when she's in her rock bag, you know, she sound like her voice is that. I don't know if I'm enough to fully go that route, but I feel like a song like Otherwise, like the chords, I feel like just the chords and the structure and the vibe gives like um sad alt girl vibes. But I love that though. I love that. Um yeah, I love that for the musical vibes. Um so those were the only two songs that I was going to get into tonight. I was like, if y'all was trying to hear anything else from me, it just wasn't going to give that. Okay. Um, just because like I really was just practicing. I was just practicing for myself. And yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna practice these two songs. Cause it wasn't gonna be like a whole like, this is guitar practice on live stream. Watch me play my song. Um, yeah, that's all I'm gonna give. And I feel like people because I had been practicing hiatus coyote and I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I can play the long all the way through. I mean it's pretty simple. It's like the same chords. Well, I mean, is it chords? I don't know if you could describe it as chords. I have been practicing hiatus coyote and napalm technically because she's her own um being on earth. And I had been doing the lung and crossfire. I was gonna start trying to learn how to play Win the Knife, but girl, first of all, there's no tutorials online, and I was thinking like I don't know how people learned how to play songs back in the day, because I'm like yo, I don't know like I can learn songs vocally by ear that I can do, but chords like how you hear the chords. I mean, I guess like well, technically, I have done that before, like with Misery. Um, that song I wrote and recorded that song to a beat online, and I engineered the chords somehow, some way. I don't even know if they're legitimate chords. I just figured some shit out, and I was like, all right, well, I have a guitar version of this. So I guess in a way, I figured out how to like learn a song by guitar. But Napalm is complex. And it's not like some beginners just well I wouldn't consider myself a beginner with guitar. I don't know, I have my moments. I don't play consistently enough, but um I would say I'm like intermediate, schmedium, uh a little bit, but she's advanced basically is what I'm getting at. And because like even crossfire I'm like girl like why you gotta play all these damn notes? Like, why you gotta put like 5 notes in one chord? Like, and I'm not saying like the chord itself. I'm saying like the chord, and then like she'll play notes in between, kind of like what I do with otherwise. With I mean, I do a simplified version of that, but with hold on. That's not the part I'm getting at, but like I play like a little extra there and do like a little hammer on or whatever. But she do that a lot. And she'll do like 10 notes. And I'm like, girl, can we not? Can we not do that? Talk about chords, you know, but this might be the quick check people. Did the chord come in the back? Girl, you know if the chord came in the pack or not. Like, why are you asking me these questions? Don't you work here? You know, but I see what you're doing there. And I'm like, I don't know. Is it three chords? Is it a triad? Is it a seventh chord? What, what kind of chord is we talking about? What kind, you know? But I see what y'all did there. See what you did there. But anyway, I receive it though. I receive it. I receive it. Um, a little bit, not a lot though, because sometimes y'all be trying me, and I'll be ready to fight, and I just want to live my life. And sometimes it takes a while for me to catch up to the blessing because y'all be hiding the blessing and shenanigans. When I deal with the shenanigans, I be ready to box with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Be ready to whoop, whoop, bop, bop, bop. You know, I be ready to do all that, and I don't want to do all that. I don't want it to be that, but it could be, but it don't gotta be. But then it's not until like days later where I'm like, oh wait, oh okay, that was to my benefit. Thank you. But I was gonna do that anyway because I take anything thrown my way and I somehow some way transmute it into a vibe. So anyway, anyway, um, I said those was the only two songs I was gonna do because that was the only song I was in the vibe in the mood for. I think I'll do like a little bit of nah, y'all don't get that from me. Y'all don't get that from me. But I might do one more song, just a little. And I realized I was playing the lung in the wrong spot too. I was just fucking all these songs up. Yeah, yeah. There's that one. Like, girl, all the harmonies. Wow. Shit, hold on. We are falling. Absolutely not. Absolutely. See what you're trying to do there. But you know what? Fuck it. We'll just I'll just do the lung a little bit. Hey Nay. Hey girl. Don't kill me now. Back over. over the Stone flake curtains at the bed and apple of its with collection. It down. Stone flake curtains at the bed and apple of its with collection. It down, down. Oh, hold on. How the verse go? My bad, y'all. Because I kind of went off a little bit. This is why we practice. Feel the lung that loves the phosphorescent something to you. And all of you are open the person nothing of death is ways about. The sound of first no view. Run from the night. Stone I flicker and take up that and I pull over it with courage. Shoot it down, down. Stone I flicker and take up that and I pull over it with courage. Shoot it down, down. Down. Quick time, quick time, quick time, for brown. Quick, quick time, quick time, quick time, for brown. Quick time, quick toes, quick toes, for brown. Quick toes, quick toes, quick toes. Quick toes, quick toes, quick toes, quick toes, brown. All right, that's all y'all get from me. That is all you will get. All right, y'all. It's been a vibe. Um, and I appreciate it at this moment. Cause I mean, I have been practicing my guitar on and off, not consistently. In between like fighting the witches and warlocks and like trying to pay bills and exist on Earth in this human vessel, even though my spirit is not from this planet. But we do the best that we can, given that I'm a living experiment. But whatever, you know, it is. Yeah. But this was cute. This was fun. This was nice. This was cute. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a practice. That's all this was. It's a practice. And yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good night. I will see you later. Um, I was thinking if there was another point that I wanted to make. No, not really. I mean, I know I usually end with a prayer, so I guess we can do that. Y'all know I love me a Psalm 23. Um, I guess that was put in the box for me. But whatever, I receive it. Because everything works in my favor. That's what I declare out of my reality existence here as Nerys in this particular lifetime. Um, all right. Psalm 23 covers me because I'm blessed beyond comprehension. But you can't cover me if you can't pass my class, go to detention. But you're fact talented and intelligent. But you got it out the mouth, off determination. It'll matter what the situation is because I already want. I already want. All these needs is my sons. But you're number one. I'm the one. That wasn't intentional. That was on the Truman Show script. So that's their fault. We'll blame it on them. Uh, anyway, I'm like, let me not be on here too much. Yeah, I know. The guitar was low. Oh well, such is life. Um, but thanks. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Um, uh, 1K subscribers. I received that. No, I never really look in these comments until the very end because I'm used to seeing a world of trolls. But oh wait, sorry, it's just but even though I feel like your name is sus, Rizda Oldie, is that what you're saying? 9-1, maybe 9-1. I see the symbolisms, but I rebuke the low vibrationals. But it doesn't really matter about the numbers. It matters about the quality. Um, you know, I don't care if it's all people. If it's all shitty people, then who gives a fuck? Um, I don't want people following me just for the sake of Truman Show demands. Like, if you don't fuck with me, don't follow me. Um, and there's people who don't, and I'm okay with that. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the people who don't follow me because they don't fuck with me. Um, I respect that. But the people who do, shout out to y'all. You know, I appreciate it because it's a lot. Being a hybrid Martian with the bomb melanin, Aquarian, alien, man, kind of understand. You know, it, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I'll just say, if people show you how to pimp, they show you all the tactics of how to pimp and what it takes to control the mind of somebody, control the actions of somebody, and pimp them into doing certain actions, then I don't know why y'all act like it's so far fetched to believe that people create scenarios to put them in position to continue the pimperation. Like, I just feel like it's right there and it makes sense. And I don't know, I feel like people would just be acting slow on purpose. And I don't want to be judgmental, but I am. I am because you know when it comes to like a group think being slow, and it's like, and especially people who know the real tea, know specific details, and I'm like, why are y'all acting slow? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a weird world. I'm just trying to make the best of it. Um, I'm ready to go back to my galaxy um, because y'all are weird, and I'll be trying to do the right things and the good things here, despite the cards given to me. But that's why I show here in practice. Anyway, y'all, I'm jaded. I'm jaded and sensitive and emotional, and yeah. Anyway, that's beside the point. Um, have a good night. Oh yeah, Psalm 23. That's what I was supposed to get to, and then I got into the rap versus the actual song. Um, from North to Trenton, the town made me super saiyan, defeated Satan. One that came to Trenton Devils was playing. I'm just saying, what God me, she wasn't playing. I'm a spirit of warrior that be slaying with the brain. So 23 covers me, cause I'm blessed beyond comprehension. But you can't compete me if you can't pass my class, go to deep attention. But you're black, talented, and intelligent. But I got it off the love, off determination. It don't matter what the situation is, cause I already won. I already won. Anyway. The Lord is my shepherd. That's a crazy transition. That's a crazy transition. But here we are. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures and leads me beside the still waters and restores my soul. God leads me on a path of righteousness for his name's sake. And although I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for God is with me. The rod and the staff comfort me. God prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies, even though I really don't want my enemies to be present. God anoints my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So it is, so it will be. Much, much gratitude for what has already been. Amen. I mean, Ashe. Now, regardless of your spiritual beliefs, if you have any, I play this not only for myself, but for you all as well, because it's a cruel world out there, and we all can use all the blessings that we can get. And I say this genuinely with the best of intentions, with love, with protection, with evolution, with freedom, with just growth in high vibrations. I try the best that I can to put that frequency out here. So I hope you all receive it. All right, y'all. With much love, have a good night. I will see y'all later, and I will let y'all know a more consistent scheduling when it comes to um, the live streams. I'm gonna get back in a routine. So yeah. But anyway, that's it for tonight.